BYDFi is a crypto exchange on desktop and mobile where you can spot trade, futures trade, use leverage tokens, and copy the trades of top traders. If you sign up with the link in the description, you get a free $100 when you deposit $100. There's hundreds of crypto available on their spot exchange, as well as a free test account so you can practice futures trading without getting wrecked. BYDFi. Good morning, everybody. Let's have a look at what would appear to be a small pump, if you want to even call it that. We're looking at Ethereum here because the concept is still alive. Come on, the death cross retest on the higher term timeframes. We're talking the daily death cross retest. Come on, baby. I want to see it. I want to see it. So, look, it doesn't have to happen, but if it were to happen, obviously, with every day that goes by, that pump diminishes its size. But if it were to do it from today, we're talking 6.8% to these exponentials and 9.6% on the simple moving averages. Still a very realistic possibility. I'm not saying it's definitely going to happen, but it's a realistic possibility. The bullish divergence could even be playing out. It actually looks a little bit more apparent on Bitcoin. And again, look, we kind of need Bitcoin as well to hold itself up and not break down for this potential miniature alt season, if you want to call it that, to materialize. Bitcoin getting rejected quite cleanly so far on the 26,500, which is the 21 exponential moving average. You can see actually that the bullish divergence kicked in exactly on the support trend line, which is nice to see. At least it's nice to see. And also it's a little surprising to see, because I don't know if you looked at the stocks or anything like that yesterday, but stocks were getting a little wrecked coming down to major levels of support. There's your S&P. And just general stocks overall weren't looking particularly happy. I'll have a look at Nasdaq as well. Nasdaq, yeah, they weren't particularly happy, but yeah, I mean, so far so good. They're bouncing. They're all bouncing from these areas. So they're coming down to test 200. Sorry, the Bollinger Band Center on the daily here. So standard practice, I suppose. If you're looking to enter positions, 65% more likely to remain above or below the band that you're in, and Nasdaq bounced on the band. We also saw gold ricocheting from exactly the same place as well. So charts still offering upside as far as I can see here in the short term, but let's face it, momentum not the strongest point on any of these charts. Volume also not being the strongest point on any of these charts. So there's your Bitcoin. So really we're down on Ethereum, and what we're really going to focus on right now is the hourly term time frame, which means that I suppose if you're watching this video later on today, you probably will have seen this play out or fail. At the moment, on the hourly, what we have is a trend signal on the Ichimoku cloud. So this is when the positive blue crosses the red, so your conversion baseline makes a cross above the cloud. And price action is also above the cloud, and the cheeky span is above the price, and so all of that is in play at the moment. This gets cancelled out the moment that we make a cross, well, in the moment the cheeky span touches price action. So really cutting it a little fine here. We do need to see this continuation today, or it won't happen. And obviously the blue crossing the red, which is down here. So far on the 1 hourly chart, Ethereum's above all moving averages, so that is one thing to hold on to. But if you take it to other time frames altogether, they're less relevant. They don't really show a great deal. Surprisingly, actually, there is a pump signal, a trend signal on the 2 hourly as well. And again, invalidation is more or less the same, 1633. 4 hourly is going to look pretty wrecked, but it's above most moving averages, with a death cross retest sitting above 1700, which is fine. And let's bring it back to reality. Terrible stuff. There we go. So this just shows that effectively, my analysis still maintains its possibility of completing. Looking for this death cross retest to form nothing other than another lower high, but I suppose in the form of a 0.69% pump over the last 24 hours, still looks relatively likely that we do move up before we go down. And again, no trend is perfectly down or perfectly up, and it's very, very common to see golden crosses or death crosses get retested. So same as yesterday, same as before, same analysis, different day. There's nothing more to it than that. Let's think about stocks then, shall we? Because and Forex as well, actually. So Dixie approached its major resistance, the 105.2. It so far pulled back from 105.17. So that might be the area that it's getting rejected from, for nothing more than getting picked up by the dip on the dollar. One driver of bullish divergence, nothing much really. Let's take it to some of these other charts then. So Japanese yen. So we got an overheated read on the money flow index on the dollar here. So this is a very powerful chart. This really does show the dollar in full swing, really. Lots of drives of bearish divergence on this one, to be fair, but still getting picked up on every moving average. So buying the dip, buying the dip, buying the dip, buying the dip, and not overheated on the daily there. One drive of bearish divergence cancelled out now, actually, on the weekly. So it still looks like it wants to run a little further. So let's just check the euro, and again, we're just trying to get ahead of the Dixie a little bit here. Okay, so the euro's come down to like a major support zone now, major support zone. So let's take it to a shorter term time frame, see if we've got divergences to help us. We don't, but actually, the fact that we ticked this area so nicely makes me feel like there is likely be a bounce around there, which should hopefully stop the Dixie going any further today. There is nothing coming out today. There is no news, there's no events, there's no speech, there's nothing coming out today, and so really it should just be a bounce from support, probably at best towards 108.2. And again, that's if that were to happen, and it probably will, pulls the Dixie down to like either a 10 exponential or a Bollinger Band center. So we're talking maybe a move of, well, not a great deal, but enough to say, all right, that's enough for you for the moment, and we'll pick you up a little bit later. So maybe a % down on the Dixie. That sounds a lot, to be honest with you. So maybe we won't be getting a full %, but we could. And that would be derived from just looking at the euro and the bounce on the euro, again, in the form of a downtrend. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're being realistic here. We're looking at charts to trade, and we're trying to scope the environment of what today's trading environment is going to look like. And I suppose as far as I can tell, the Dixie might close red today to the maximum of 1% down, letting everything else climb, I suppose. Some of these stocks I've seen have got wrecked. Look at the state of C3AI, coming all the way down in the pre-market, basically opening at the 200 simple moving average on the daily, finding a decent bounce from there, but maybe we're talking the end of the AI bull run for the time being anyway, and we'll wait for this to fully capitulate, I suppose, to be fair, because that has been a dramatic pump and a dramatic crunch, and most of this is all from Nvidia, isn't it, really? And we'll just have a look at how she's doing. Yeah, she's having a good old pullback too, and not really in a comfortable enough area for me to consider a buy either, a long or a short. Right, so I mean that pretty much wraps it up. It is the same analysis, different day. Same analysis, different day. I'm basically looking for my overall analysis to materialize to the maximum push on Ethereum of a death cross retest, whether it's a simple or exponentials. There is no more to it than that. And given what we've seen on Forex today, and the areas that gold and Nasdaq are bouncing from, it should give an okay environment for further upsides to happen, really. Right, other than that, if you want to join the Patreon live stream, links in the description below. I'll be doing one tonight, doing Tuesdays and Fridays, so I'll see you there later. Other than that, I hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.